All right, this is your market recap for May 23rd, 2025. Today my bearish was my bias was bearish. I was expecting price to come down to this purple weekly inverse fair value gap, but we didn't have the juice to get down there, so kind of just you'll see on the hourly. So we took off kind of out of nowhere at pre-market, right? 7 o'clock. One candle shot us all the way down below this low. And so at the time of market open, the range had been expanded. So now the 20 to 30% retrace of the weekly range was still on the table. And with us reaching that super early into market open, all my daily targets were taken. So I didn't trade because I didn't have anywhere else that I thought price would go. Now, that does make sense because if we look at just these hourly candles, we can see the amount and the size of wicks that we have. On like almost every candle, there's a huge wick. And it just shows a whole lot of indecision within the market. So if we go down to the 15-minute, we can see that dive down at 7:15, takes out this low, kind of price plays shallow after that, starts reversing, targeting the 20 and 30% of that weekly range. We then reached that within the first 15 minutes of market open, and so with that, trading is out of the day for me because I don't have another bias, right? It could go up to 30, but it could also just sit here and do nothing. It does end up going up to 30, end up a little higher, but this is, if I was in this would have been a trade that took a while and wasn't the most rewarding, I'll say. It's because it would have given me like maybe a 1 to 2, and it would have taken hours. So not really something that I'm looking forward to. We do end up coming above this 30%. Not entirely sure what's keeping us here, but does seem to be the case. We then go down to the 5-minute. We can see that price hits 20%, 25%, retrace into this 5-minute, keep in there, up to the 30%, retrace back to this 5-minute once again. And then we kind of just break the high, come down, break the high, and then we just meander for the entirety of PM session. That's usually what you expect from PM session on Friday. But yeah, I mean, sweep, 25% retrace, 30% retrace, barely takes us high, retrace, and we kind of meandered our way all the way up, staying within this 5-minute. That's what was keeping us in this 5-minute. And then we just went from there. Oh no. On the 1-minute, not really much. There's just 1-minute fair value gap that propelled price upwards. You can see with this range that's perfectly in equilibrium and constant encroachment of this 1-minute fair value gap. This could have actually been a trade. But in my opinion, price or stop would have to go at least constant encroachment of this fair value gap. And if we target 20 and 30%, like I said, 1 to 3, and this would have taken us a long time. 42 minutes for a 1 to 3 is not really something that I want to go through. Yeah, I'd much rather just sit on the sidelines today. We then expanded up, tapped into the 25% right between these two, 20 and 30%. Retrace down to this 5-minute. Once again, expand up, consolidate, come back down to the 5-minute. So the macro is a big move here. There might be a 15-second something within here. But truthfully, I didn't even look for SMTs today just because with the amount of consolidation, there's bound to be like a million of them and they mean nothing. Because you have no idea if an SMT is going to cause a move like this or a move like this. The thing that helps you determine between retraces like this and this is a higher time frame bias. And with all of my higher time frame targets being reached, I can't pick a target. So again, expand above these highs barely, retrace, expand again, and then go horizontal from there. End up closing well within the 20 and 30% of the weekly range. Now looking into next week, still would like to see price come down to here. I expect Monday, Tuesday, the first half of the week, to play bearish. Dragging down here, tapping into this weekly inverse, and then possibly playing bullish from there. Did give a reaction here, so if we disrespect this fair value gap, then we're playing bearish long term. But I think with this sweep here of this high, this is a retrace, not a reversal. So I think we're looking for this, which we're going to hit early next week, and then from there play bullish if and when it gives us a reversal. But we still have Saturday and Sunday, pre-market, and all that to go through. So nothing set in stone, but this has been your market recap for May 23rd, 2025.